How many eye rolls does it take to become a Blackhawks fan?
All of them.
I feel so bad for that Luke guy, man. My friend Luke on Twitter, who follows you now, lost a bet with me that we made back in, like, right after the beach stuff had died down a little bit. So it was like, well, I guess I'm still a Blackhawks fan. Sure. He's like, well, since we're here, do you want to make a bet? Like, your Blackhawks and my Red Wings play in January. Who knows if they're even going to be playing? But you want to make a bet? I was like, sure. If you win, I'll change my stuff to Detroit Red Wings, which I would kind of rather be a fan of right now. And if the Blackhawks win, you have to become a Blackhawks fan for a week. And then it was like, we can take things further. We can each either buy a hat or a shirt. I said or. And he was like, cool. And then he lost, and then he bought a hat and a shirt. And I'm like, you poor son of a bitch.
I have a Detroit hat somewhere. Here it is. It's not a Red Wings hat, but it's a Detroit hat.
Yeah, I have a Red Wings jersey. Their Centennial Classic against the Leafs.
It's a nice one.
And it was nice. The Leafs one's better.
It is.
Kind of got ruined because the patch wasn't on it, and then I took it to a store in town to put it on there, and it's like, should be here. It's like here. I'm like, cool.
But the Leafs won that game in the shootout.
They did. It was a good game because they were down. Were they down like 2 goals or something?
I think so.
Or were the Red Wings down? I don't remember.
I just know it went to the shootout and Tyler Bozak scored. Yeah. Back when he was a Leaf.
Was it an overtime?
It was a shootout.
I thought it was overtime.
Shootout.
Was it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Positive?
Yeah.
You know hockey stuff more than I do. Football's been over for a week and a half now, so.
Has it?
Yep. Week and a half.
Has it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I seem to recall that there was games this weekend.
Nope. They canceled the rest of the season.
Did they?
There's no Super Bowl happening.
No?
Nope. Once the Packers lose, season's over. They're like, well, this can't happen. So, overtime. Nailed it. Called it.
Which one? Oh, it was the Winter Classic when they went to the shootout.
Mm-hmm.
I got the two mixed up.
There was also a good uniform matchup. That was red versus blue.
When the fuck was the Centennial Classic? Now I don't remember this game.
2017.
Huh.
Same day as the Winter Classic. They had both games. I don't remember what the Winter Classic was. Was that the...
It was the one at the big house.
I know that. That was 2014 because it was supposed to be 2013 and then the lockout happened. And then they did it in 2014.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, Red Wings and Leafs was supposed to be 2013. And then they're like, oh shit, we have a lockout. We can't do all the cool stuff.
No, because I wasn't in college then. 2014. What the actual fuck? What am I thinking of?
I'm glad you're recording because we can now know that I know things about hockey. I'm not just a dumb football jock. I'm a hockey jock.
I must have just mixed up the two games.
I think you're just dumb.
Well, because this one went to the shootout, so I was right.
It went to the shootout, but it was 2014.
I mixed them. I thought that I was watching the Winter Classic when I was watching the Centennial.
People have like a bunch of views and subscribers on YouTube that don't remember the Centennial Classic games. Both of them even happened. So
what was the other one?
The NHL 100 game that happened like a week before 2017 ended. Because they celebrated the NHL 100 season just in the year. Remember when they were wearing those 100-year patches?
Oh, yeah.
On their jerseys? That started the first year, that January 1st, 2017, and then they stopped doing it December 31st of 2017. That was between Ottawa and Montreal. I have the Ottawa jersey.
I don't remember.
In Fanatics. The uniform matchup was great, just like the Centennial Classic against them. It was great. All I need is the Montreal jersey from that, and I can't find it. I'm sad.
I have a Montreal jersey.
I do too.
That finally came.
Same. Cole Caulfield, baby.
Same.
Badgers. I saw him play.
Oh, yeah?
I don't remember now for the Badgers.
Did you see Wyatt Kelnick play too?
I don't remember.
I think they were on the same team. They must have been. For Wisconsin.
Has the episode started yet?
No.
Okay.
We should probably do that.
Yeah, maybe. Eventually. At some point.
Oh, God.
Either it hasn't started and we're just bullshitting, or it has started. It's the longest cold open you've ever had.
we'll go with that. Welcome to From Centerize the podcast. My name is Courtney.
And I'm Jonny Rockford.
How's it going?
It was going good until about 7 o'clock today.
Yeah, you know
Yesterday.
what? My day was going all right. Oh, it is.
It's
after
midnight. Hooray!
My watch died. That's how yesterday is going.
Mine's good. It's got a From Center Ice logo. You probably can't see that. You can kind of see it.
That you
It's
designed.
tiny. I did design it. Design that.
You did.
I don't think I've been here since I got that for you.
I don't think you have either.
So there, I have seen episodes with you and Jackie.
Yes.
Speaking of Jackie, her and I got you this Christmas present.
What?
That didn't come in time because it's February.
My
but
birthday's next Friday.
It's a birthday present, not a Christmas present.
It's a birthmas?
Birthmas present.
Birth?
Chris, Chris Day.
Chris Day? That's legit.
Yeah. Hockey is for everyone, which we
Yes.
know the NHL doesn't really care about that, but
But Rockford Hockey Club does.
hell yeah.
You know what? It's going to replace this Ice Hogs jersey behind me right now.
I don't think I put the A on because I'm dumb.
Oh,
But it's
that's
a
all right.
practice jersey anyway. I designed this
It's a beautiful pride jersey, and that's all that matters.
as a potential NHL one in my NHL custom series. I was like, you know what? We have a team now. It's an EASHL team, but
we're awesome.
yeah, I also want to get an actual patch of the Hockey is for Everyone thingy, but without the NHL logo, and actually sew it on there for you at some point. I wouldn't do it. I can't sew, but
You're not a sewer.
yeah, I might also like make the logo a legitimate patch and redo. I don't know. There's some options.
Well, I love it.
Good. I'm glad. Me and Jackie pitched in for that for you. So happy Christmas, birthmas. Happy birthmas.
Thank you.
We ordered it I ordered it like the first week of December, but couldn't pay until like end of December. So
And when it comes from Australia, it takes a little bit.
it does come from Australia. Shout out Cricket Creations. His card fell, but we don't need that right now.
Yeah, there it is.
It's right there. If you need custom hockey stuff, hockey jerseys, he even makes hats and stuff now.
It's gonna
give him a
focus
call.
on our faces, so it won't focus
That's
on
fine. It's whatever.
He made our other Rockford Hockey Club ones,
Yep.
didn't he?
Yeah, and he's hopefully gonna make the Winter Classic ones that I designed. That's the next one I want to get.
Ooh.
So you've seen them.
Fancy,
Follow me
fancy.
at Jonny Rockford to see hockey designs.
Yes.
You don't have to. It's fine.
Do it. He
You don't
also
have to.
designed our logo and our wonderful intro and all that fun stuff.
Intro that you just saw. That
Exactly.
Hopefully,
If
there's
you're
enough-
watching on the YouTube channel,
hopefully there's enough pad there to where
there will be. If not, it's just going to be like awkward, but it's fine because that's what this is.
I'm awkward, so it works out.
Me too, so it's
Yeah.
totally fine.
I'm wearing blue stuff. I am a Blackhawks fan, barely anymore. Yeah, I'm less embarrassed to wear this stuff than I am to be a Blackhawks fan right now.
I'm wearing a Hockey Diversity Alliance shirt.
Change hockey culture.
Yes,
because,
but
God, it's bad.
I'm pretty sure this was when Evander Kane was still a big part of it. Is his name on the back? Because their names are on the back, right?
Akeem Alou, which is a good Evander Kane, right there.
Yeah. An
Yeah.
Edmonton Oiler now.
A lot of things have happened.
You know, a lot of things have happened since the last podcast episode we recorded, which between Jacqueline and I was in November before Thanksgiving.
That's way better than my podcast where we went almost an entire year. We recorded stuff around draft time. I got the NFL draft prediction video out there. We did a mock draft, and then we didn't do a damn thing until a couple weeks ago.
Fair.
So, hey, you know what? No matter how much time is in between your podcast, just remember, it could always be worse.
Barely, but yeah. See, I'm doing that evading thing again. So
I was a part of that episode.
You were
I was just kind of sitting there awkwardly.
sitting there. I told
But-
you could be a part of it.
Yeah, but we were going to do our own episode, and we'd
That's
already come
true.
to terms with that, so...
I was recording with Beth, and we did a masterful job of evading the bad topic. So I guess we should get to the bad topic.
We're gonna do it right out the gate, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
The Blackhawks had done a pretty good job this season of trying to not cover up, but kind of like get past the Kyle Beach incident of 2010. And then they were like, you know what would be good? Let's do an open discussion, an open Q&A, what did they call it?
good old town hall.
A town hall meeting where anybody can come and ask a question, at least media-wise. And let's not expect them to ask the big elephant in the room question. And guess what? The big elephant in the room question was asked. And guess what else?
I knew it was going to be a shit show when they said they were going to do a town hall.
I didn't even know about it, so that's how much
Really?
I saw your tweet of like, hey, this will be fun. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, I was watching this
Interesting.
this event is starting soon thing for like 20 minutes because they started late and then they ended early for good reason.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah, so they announced they were going to do that. And I was like, oh, this isn't going to go well. But I didn't know how bad it was.
Clearly, they didn't either. I think they only expected, let's ask us about our GM search and our potential coaching things and maybe the on-ice product. And while it got to that, it was not without controversy.
At least that's what Rocky thought was going to happen. And so the town hall, Rocky Wirtz was there. Danny Wirtz was there. Eddie O was the moderator.
The MC, if you will.
And then Jamie Faulkner was there. And
Because, National Women's Day.
of course, you have to include the token woman, right? So God bless Jamie and Danny and Eddie, because there was a precise moment during this town hall
Where their souls left their body.
you could see it on the screen. It just left, and they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what was going on, and poor Danny tried to stop the train before it wrecked, but he could not because he was told to shut the fuck up by his father.
Own father.
So they started the town hall, blah, blah, blah. They were giving niceties to Eddie because he's been dealing with an illness. I don't know
Illness. I don't know if hopefully
if it's related to...
I hope it's not his cancer stuff.
They were
'cause that
very
would really
vague
suck.
about it.
The fact that he was there, though, makes me think it's probably not that. Might be something else. Might be COVID. I don't want to speculate.
I don't know if it's COVID because it's been... He said it was like ongoing. It was going on
He
throughout...
caught what Taves had a year ago.
Jesus Christ. He's got, what did they call it?
I don't remember what he had.
Chronic immune response syndrome or something like that.
Something like that. Something that sounded made up, but apparently it's very
Asshole syndrome, if we're talking about Taves. Anyway... So they started out with that, and it was all like, oh, good feelings, blah, blah, blah. It was all nice and fluffy. And then it was like, oh, they're just going to run this whole hour full of, like, fluff and PR goodness. Like, that's what I expected, blah, blah, blah.
But then they opened up to Q&As.
Yeah. And the first question was, why is Pat Foley being pushed out? Because that's the most pressing question here. People are obsessed with this.
I don't think he's getting pushed out.
He's not, and that's what Jamie went on to explain, that he wanted a lesser schedule. He didn't know if he wanted to extend his contract, blah, blah, blah. She answered it very well. Go watch that again. But people are obsessed with the broadcast. They're like, it's not Pat Foley. I can't deal with this.
They're not even doing that bad of a job.
They're not. I don't know
There's
what
been a
people are so
lot
mad
of people
about.
filling in. And
Yeah.
shout out Joey Z, who's been on the radio a few
Yes.
times, filling in while John Weidman
Yes.
has been doing.
And Troy Murray.
Yeah. Troy Murray's out for a
Yes.
different reason, but John Weidman's been filling in on the TV broadcasts, and Joey Z has been, he's the
Ice Hogs play-by-play
for the
guy.
Ice Hogs.
Does a fantastic job.
No Bob Mills, but he does pretty well. He does great.
Or Mr. Peck.
Or Mr. Mike Peck.
That's
Mr.
what-
Mike Peck.
That's what I started. That's what I started listening to the Ice Hogs on the
everyone
radio.
did. He only didn't do it for 1 year until
Yeah.
he stopped doing that.
Yeah.
He was not my direct boss, but a boss for a few years. I like Mike.
That's good.
He's a good dude for the most part. He's a good dude. Not for the most part. He's a good dude.
Good old Ice Hogs.
Good
But yeah,
old Mike Peck.
so they asked about Pat, and then they opened it up to the media, like you said, and Mark Lazarus was first, which isn't unexpected with The Athletic.
He's been covering the team for quite a while now.
Quite a while. He was with the Sun-Times, right? Before The Athletic.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah. I was trying to think of that when I was talking with Beth. It was like he wasn't a Times guy. Pretty sure it was Sun-Times. Or not the Tribune guy.
Yeah, you can stall while I look it up.
Yeah, so they went to Mark, and he has been covering the team for at least as long as I can remember, since I've been super dialed into the written media. And I used to get the Sun-Times and the Red... What was it called? I don't think it was the Red Line. The Red something. It was free. When I lived in Chicago, they had like little free things. You could take them out. And that was during the championship years, so it was nice. I could get all these like newspaper clippings. Yeah. It was after 2010 because I was in college then. So it was like 13 and 15. So I would get those. I would get the Sun-Times because the whole sports section at the end was nice to save.
I've seen a lot of NBC stuff.
I think he did NBC too before
Really?
that.
He's still on NBC?
Is he?
Even though he's not. Like,
but he's with The Athletic.
Yeah, he is, but he's also not. Unless there's a different Mark Lazarus.
Oh, he's like the owner of NBC or something. There is a different Mark Lazarus.
Okay.
Because I remember him tweeting about that. Like, I'm not that guy.
Cool. I will clarify with NHL.
There you go. Let's see. Mark Lazarus, Sun-Times. Right. Yep, Chicago Sun-Times. Boom. Former Chicago Blackhawks reporter at the Chicago Sun-Times. Anyway, so he was first up.
I can't research properly.
He asked...
I'm a terrible co-host. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I'm a terrible host.
Do you not, though?
I just know really useless shit. That's all that it is.
That's all that podcasting is.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's knowing random things and giving your opinion on them.
You're right. And that's why I love listening to them.
That's why I love making them, because I don't have to listen to me. You guys do.
True. Except you do when you have to edit it. I don't mind listening to myself when I'm editing it, but if I hear my voice on someone else's device, I'm like, oh my God.
You would be surprised how often that is, because I work in the news business, and every time, I don't want to give any names, but there is a former person that used to work with us that every time we did their teases, they would walk in while we're editing them. It's like, oh, stop.
I don't know why it's so weird. Like, at least I know it's happening and I'm prepared for it if I'm the one. Anyway.
Moving on. I'm getting back on track. Hey.
Doing the evading thing.
Hey,
again.
Our podcast is literally just us getting off topic and then trying to find or shoehorn our way back in.
Have you listened to From Center Ice? We usually don't know what the topic is.
Have you listened to ZB&J podcast? Because that's literally the same thing. We have a set list of like 6.
Yep.
We do like 1, and then we're like, real quick, what's the other 2?
Welcome to podcasting. Anyway, so Mark was up first, and he asked something along the lines of...
how did we move past the Kyle Beach situation?
Yeah, and it seemed like back then it was a power imbalance, so the players didn't feel like they could speak up, so how are they going to feel empowered now going forward? And then there was Rocky Wirtz.
And Beth's put it a good way, man yelling at Cloud.
Man yelling at Cloud.
From Simpsons, of just, we moved past that. We don't have to talk about that. We'll talk about now. Let's not talk about the past. It's like, I am.
And he got so angry. I have never seen Rocky show emotion before.
I've seen him, like, show smiles, like a... Hi, I'm just happy to be here.
I don't think like those were real though. They're just like, oh yeah, I have to do this because I'm here. Like even when they won the cup, I don't think he showed as much emotion as he did
in that conference
tonight.
Yeah.
When Kyle Beach was mentioned by name, because when they were doing the whole intro thing, they talked about like how it was difficult for fans to root for the team for the last 18 months, how they've gone through challenges and blah blah blah. They wouldn't mention him by name. And so as soon as his name was brought up and Mark Lazarus said Kyle Beach, it was like some demon arose in Rocky Wirtz and he was like, we're not talking about that. And
he just took a bunch of money from him. Deservedly so.
Rightfully so.
Deservedly so. And while everyone was like, well, yeah, it actually seemed like he didn't know much about the incident. After tonight, it's like, I'm not so sure that's true anymore.
I'm the same way. Like when the report came out, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. They weren't mentioned at all, the Wirtz family.
Like, and they were the ones there when the lawyers were talking about everything. They were like yep, we're here.
We're going to be transparent.
We're showing our face like we are, and we were involved in this research.
Yep.
We were involved in them talking about it. And while I don't think Danny was a part of the organization back then.
I don't think he was anywhere close to it.
No, I think he was like our age. Like, I don't know how old he is.
I think he was involved in like the alcohol side of the business, not the Blackhawks side of the business, because they have like the Wirtz drinks, whatever. Yeah. I think he was more involved in that.
Yeah. But Rocky has been, obviously. And I don't...
Since his dad died and he took over. And he was supposed to be so much better, like the hero of the franchise.
It sure seemed like it. I mean, and then...
He walked into the room, people would chant Rocky because, you could watch the Blackhawks on TV now and they would spend to the salary cap.
And he wanted them to win. Apparently, so much so that he didn't care. Which, again... When everything came out and they were like, hey, here's our findings. We're trying to be transparent.
Yeah.
He was there. His face was attached to the conference. And then everyone's like, well, maybe he didn't know,
And I could believe that with John McDonough.
Like everything seemed to end with McDonough and everything down was like, ugh,
everything will live and die on McDonough's desk.
But then you come to tonight and the mere mention of the name Kyle Beach and all of a sudden... Even John McDonough was probably like, no, I told him too, because obviously he has some problem with what happened.
I would like to hear from that guy.
I don't want to hear his voice. I don't want to hear his name. I don't want to hear nothing.
I mean, mostly me neither, but I want to hear whether he says that he told them or not.
He's been weirdly silent about everything.
I don't think we've heard anything from McDonough.
This is the guy who used to like that seemed sketchy to begin with when they hired him because he used to work for the Cubs when they didn't give a shit.
Yeah. He was all about PR. It's just PR, 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 PR. That was McDonough.
Yeah.
Clearly, because we didn't know about this until he left.
I don't know if that makes him very good at PR, of like nobody knew about it, or very bad because it was all shady. I don't know.
I think it makes him good at his job. He's just a shitty person.
Just a very scumbaggy person. Most corporate people are.
This is true. It's like he was good at his job at
a fault.
Cost of other people.
Yeah, and you can't do that. Especially not in today's day and age. Like back in the 70s and 80s when things were all just about the money and all that shit.
Or 2010.
Not even that long. Or 22 or 10, 12. What year is it? 22? 12 years ago.
Yeah.
We never actually did the podcast. I was over here the day Kyle Beach came out. And said, hey, it was me. We're planning to do a podcast. We haven't done one since.
And then all of us were just like, nope.
Yeah, we're all just too angry, too sad, too depressed to do any of that stuff. And I forgot where I was going with that. I had an endpoint. I started talking and explaining, and now I don't know.
Yeah, you were here when Kyle Beach came out and did his on-air interview with Rick Westhead on TSN.
Yep.
And that was the day after the report was released. And then we learned the next day, like, oh, John Doe 1 is going to come forward. And everybody was just like, hold on. And they played the Leafs that night, too, which was like...
And we stopped caring.
Yeah.
Like,
and the Leafs beat them, so thank goodness.
Yeah, we were happy. And similar things happened tonight.
Yeah, they got beat by Minnesota 5-0
Minnesota?
tonight. As much as that hurts me to say.
I don't hate Minnesota. So
I do.
I know you do. You hate. I mean, I should, but...
I hate most Central Division teams. And Ryan Hartman didn't even get a goal. I have him on my fantasy team. If Minnesota's going to score 5
it's right here.
fucking goals, he didn't even get a point.
I mean, there's a reason they let him go, right? Like,
he's been good with Minnesota.
He was okay with Nashville.
I miss him. I liked him before the Hawks drafted him. I was very happy when the Hawks drafted him. And then...
I liked him on the Ice Hogs. He was a good dude.
He was. And now he's with the Wild. He just stays in the Central Division.
You get to play the Blackhawks.
True.
Like 3
He's
times
from Chicago.
5 times a year.
Makes sense.
Is it 5 times every division? 3 times against the Pacific, right? And then 5 times Central. Not talking about last year when we played them like 1,000 times.
We didn't play Minnesota. They were in the West.
That's right. Never mind.
Just like Colorado. And
And St.
now
Louis.
Arizona's in the Central. And Tampa and Florida and Carolina were in the Central. Anyway.
Remember when Columbus were in the same division? That was a long time ago.
That was nice.
That was 2013.
When Stahlberg totally victimized them at every possible chance.
Yeah. When I went and saw them for the first time in regular season.
I saw Corey Crawford's 50th career win against the Columbus Blue Jackets.
I saw him get pulled against the Columbus Blue Jackets for giving up 3 goals in like 5 minutes.
I saw him get pulled against the Predators, and then Ray came in, God rest his soul, and then he was also very bad in that game.
A lot of depressing moments for the Blackhawks. Even the very good parts are tainted now. It's so
I know. Like, I became a fan of the Hawks right before the playoffs in 2010. That was
Same.
the team that I fell in love with. Was the 2010 team.
Yeah, same.
The first game I ever watched was in March or April of that year against the Anaheim Ducks. It was the only game that Corey Crawford played in that season for the Blackhawks. And ever since then, I was hooked. And then I saw them win the cup. And then I was very sad when Niemi left. And then I was like, oh, new goalie, Crawford. And then, the next decade played out as it did.
Yeah, I was sad Niemi left too. And then I realized, but we won every game like 6-5. So maybe it's not the worst. Remember how all the people were like, well, Crawford had a good defensive front. Like, that same defense with Niemi gave up 5 goals a night. You could argue it was better in 2010 than it was in later years.
I think
people
my
still
soul
talk shit
is
about
folding
Crawford.
in on itself.
And then people talk about, like, well, Crawford's just not that good. He's overrated. I remember back in Rockford, when he first got called up, people were like, oh, I think Crawford's a bum. He shouldn't be up there. It's like, 1, 2 cups, bitch. You know
Right?
what? He's got them rings.
I don't know what people have against the guy.
Like, oh, he's an alcoholic. So are you, fucker. Fuck off.
Because he injured himself at a concert. God fucking forbid.
Aaron Rodgers injured himself in his home when he had COVID. That piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm a Packer fan. I like watching the guy, but, I mean, dude, shut up. Can we talk about that for a minute? I know it's a hockey podcast.
That was a time.
It's still happening.
Is it?
After he got eliminated by San Francisco, Pat McAfee asked him, I know, again, I'm sorry, divulging. I haven't done a podcast since this happened. Myself. He got on the Pat McAfee show, and Pat McAfee asked him, so what do you think everyone was like rooting against you? Like, it just seems like, I mean, I know you guys are Green Bay and all that stuff, but it seems like a lot of people were happy you lost. He's like, well, there's one reason only, because I'm against the vaccine. It's like, no, it's not. You're the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, the winningest franchise in, well, title-wise, in NFL history. You play for the Packers. You're also one of the best quarterbacks of all time. That's the main reason they want you to lose. And then, yeah, you're dumb about the vaccine shit.
I've hated this guy long before COVID was even a thought.
Because you're a Bears fan. Every Bears fan hates the guy. I understand.
Unfortunately.
I love watching him play. I'm glad he plays for my team. I wish
Played.
he would shut his fucking mouth.
Past tense. Played.
Remains to be seen. He's still part of the team, and until we trade him, he's still a member of the Packers. I do think he's going to be traded, which is depressing because we don't.
Maybe he'll just retire like Brady did. That was a thing that happened.
Yeah, he
Sort of.
retired.
He,
and
like, retired
and then they were
and then
like,
unretired.
no, I didn't. He never unretired. They were just like, people. It leaked, and he was
Yeah.
like, I didn't actually retire yet. And even when he did retire, he didn't say the word retire. He was like, I cannot put 100% commitment into football, so therefore, guess I'm not playing, I guess. And he never used the words retired. He didn't even thank the Patriots. He's like, thanks, Bucks, for giving me a good 2 years. That's it. Fuck you, Patriots.
Wow.
He later thanked them in like a comment after the Patriots posted something on Instagram of like, hey, Robert Kraft here. We want to congratulate Tom Brady on a great career. He brought us a bunch of titles. And he was like, thank you, Patriots Nation, but fuck you, Patriots. He didn't say that last part, but it sure felt like
It was the unsaid part.
Yeah. And it's like, so he thanks the fans, which is cool.
Yeah.
But like, I really think him and Bill Belichick really had a bigger falling out than people think. I hate Tom Brady because he wins all the time. He's lucky as fuck.
He earned me money because they were not the favorites last year. But I was like, it's really dumb to bet against Tom Brady because he just pisses me off and wins every time. So I put money on the Bucks winning the Super Bowl. And guess who fucking won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he shouldn't have won the NFC Championship game, but you know, whatever.
Was that against the Packers?
Yeah, whatever, Kevin King.
You know, at least you don't have a fucking double doink to your name, okay?
No, we just have a history of choking in the last 10 years. Hooray.
Yeah, well.
That's much better. I'd rather have one bad playoff loss than 5.
Well, that means you have to get to the playoffs every year to have.
Yeah, we usually have at least one playoff win, but not this year. Not the one year we were supposed to win it all, because everyone was like, the Packers should win the Super Bowl. They're the best team. And then we're like, it's the Niners. Remember them? Yeah, we don't play well against them.
At least you didn't have a double doink.
I love that double doink.
I know you do.
I was more happy that I just didn't have to go to House Hall again the week after, because I was going to House Hall every week.
And then every time somebody rings the puck off of the post and then the crossbar or the post and the other post, you're like, double doink. I'm like,
hooray!
It will never die.
Yeah, you know what else won't die? The 2014 NFC Championship game.
You know what else won't die?
Rocky Wirtz.
Yep, that's exactly where I was going.
I don't want to wish for anybody's death, but if one were to die and me not be that sad over it right now, hey, he issued an apology. It was very...
Do you want to read it?
PR, I don't, but I will.
Okay.
We said it. You said it in the last one, thanks to me, because I had it ready.
Yeah, you did. You queued it up
It's
right quick.
right here. Statement from Rocky Wirtz, retweeted by Mark Lazarus himself. Tonight, at the Chicago Blackhawks Town Hall, my response to 2 questions crossed the line. I want to apologize to the fans and those reporters, and I regret that my response overshadowed the great work this organization is doing to move forward. We have the right leaders and right processes in place to create a safe environment for our employees and players. If you had that already written down before the town hall, we're probably not having this discussion right now. That's what I wanted to say earlier. If this guy, like, you gotta know, like, you yourselves made this town hall thing happen. You're like, we're gonna have a town hall, we're gonna have media people, they can ask whatever they want, and we will answer them. You gotta know they're gonna ask about the Kyle Beach situation. You have to. Like,
how would they not?
Danny knew.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. Like, he knew it was coming. He had an answer ready to go.
He tried. He tried to step in.
And the fact that Rocky didn't even have a bullshit, like, corporate answer of, like, while we do feel we have moved on from said discussion of Kyle Beach and the 2010 incident, we do recognize that there are still questions. And even if he said something like, we are still internally discussing and trying to go through the process of finalizing ways to fix the situation so it doesn't happen again. Very bullshit PR. Still would make people angry. I would still be angry, but I wouldn't be like, fuck this dude. It'd be like, what else is he going to say right now?
We agreed with Kyle Beach to not talk about this publicly because they had him sign an NDA. That could have been what he said. We agreed with him to not talk about this publicly.
And even then we're still like, well, that's kind of bullshit because it's PR. But hey.
But at least he's not like, we're not talking about Kyle Beach.
Yeah, like, you can talk about whatever the fuck you want. You can talk about us sucking dick this season. You can talk about us not knowing how to hire a GM, whatever. You can talk about how Jeremy Colleton gets fired and is now the head coach of the Canadian men's team.
God, I'm really mad I have to root for Team Canada now, just out of spite.
Who's coaching USA? Is Stan Bowman still the men's?
No, I think he was allowed to step down.
Oh, right. He was allowed to step down from the Blackhawks, too.
Yeah, I don't know who's coaching Team USA.
Why are we rooting against Team USA?
Because just out of spite, I have to root for Jeremy to do well because people hated him so much for no reason.
Yeah. Now that he's gone, people are kind of like, well, he kind of got a bad... He was kind of in a bad situation. It's like, duh!
It's the team, not the coach. What?
Like, do I think he was ready? No. Do I think he was in there too early? Yes.
Agreed. Am I even mad he was let go? No.
No, because he was bad. Like, he wasn't ready. I think he should have still been coaching the Ice Hogs at this point.
Oh, God,
not fucking Derek King, who's now coaching the Blackhawks,
and
by the way.
That's going.
Not going well.
If people would just listen to me from the fucking jump, when I told you, you would be regretting this shit.
But he had a 5-game win streak when he started. It's like,
what?
Because people didn't like Colleton. Like, they had grown tired of... Like, I'm pretty sure Taves didn't like Colleton.
That's what it was.
But it's
the
because they
vets
loved
didn't
Bowman. Or not Bowman. They loved Quenville. And
Jeremy was given a shit sandwich. He had to replace Q in the eyes of the fans.
the beloved Q at the time.
Yeah. And the vets on the team. And then the team was shit. So he wasn't going to go anywhere with them. And so he was put in a position to fail. And then once he did, people were like, oh my God, what the hell?
He failed?
Oh my God, he didn't
This
want
guy
to
who clearly
with
wasn't
this
ready?
team?
He was a very good dude. I didn't work with him, but I was working for the Ice Hogs when he was their coach for the 1 year.
Finally, after Ted Dent was finally let go after being arrested.
Yeah. And granted, they had a lot of veteran help that year, but goddamn, they looked good, and they should have gotten to the Calder Cup final.
Fucking Texas!
Don't like Texas, although I do like their uniforms.
That one fucking play from Yoni Tulula, which was shit, and then he was a lot better the next year. He was the most improved defenseman on the team, and Jeff fucking Glass, who God bless his soul because he is a great person individually, but that fucking play, and that overtime goal was offside, and there was the goaltender interference. I will never get over that fucking series with Texas. I will die on this hill.
The fact that they didn't put Glass in after they went down 0-2.
That puck that just like lofted over the goaltender and in overtime. I will never forget. I was there. It was at the BMO.
Yeah, I was there too. I saw it right there. It was cameras. We had angles on that son of a bitch.
I was there when they swept the Isum. And then
I was there when they swept the Wolves. I was in Chicago when they swept the Wolves. That was triple overtime. Oh,
Victor Edgesell, the hero once again.
What happened to him, man? He's like
over in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, he was like doing so well at the end of the season that year, and then he came back and he's like
Blackhawks depth chart for some reason.
Just decided to suck.
Yeah,
didn't do well his last 2 years.
Yeah, he was Small Victor, as he called himself, because we also had Svedberg on the team.
And Svedberg?
God, I miss him so much. That defensive pairing between Victor Svedberg and Cody Franzen was ace. That was fucking legit.
That whole team was ace.
Oh, that team was so good.
I like that Jeff Glass comes in. They're like, oh, let's start winning now. And they won 2 straight. They won 2 at home. 1 in overtime, wasn't it? Or were they both regulation? I don't remember.
I think they were in regulation. I just remember them losing in overtime.
I just remember them. I just remember me being out of a job due to an overtime goal because I'd already known that I was going to leave at the end of the season to go to my current job now. And
thank you, Yoni Tulula.
I was hoping it would be another 2 weeks before I had to go, and then they ice the puck and it comes down, and then with 6 seconds left in the first overtime or second overtime. I think it was first too. I was like, oh, going to second overtime.
They have the puck behind the net, and then he just lets them go out front, and Jeff Glass is like, you want that to go in the net? There it goes.
And then I was out of a job, and I cried.
They would have played the Marlies.
Mm-hmm. And then we got smoked, because the Marlies were far and above.
Captained by Ben Smith.
Who super underrated as a Blackhawk.
Ice Hogs fucking legend. Blackhawks legend. I loved him so much. I was so pissed when he was traded to San Jose for Desi. But then I love Desi too. But so mad. And then he got knocked out with that concussion against the Red Wings in the preseason.
That wasn't the first time we traded with San Jose. I remember trading Kyle Beach to San Jose and getting Brandon Mashinter. See how we come full circle here?
Oh, Monster Mash.
Monster Mash.
Didn't he get a hat trick against Layton?
Who? Mash?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. All I remember is Kyle Beach getting a hat trick on Teddy Bear Toss night, and then they're like, cool, we were hoping that you would do good so we could trade your ass so the 2010 stuff doesn't come out. Apparently.
I feel like this is a thing that happened. Maybe it didn't.
Dead air. Seeing your face in the reflection, but not of you, but of your cutout, is very alarming to me. Hey, I did that.
Did you?
That's me. I made that. We're looking at the Hupie and Abraham plays of November.
It is against Layton. I was right. I was sitting in a box for that game. I was not in my normal seat.
I was also in a box, but it was the big giant yellow box where the video board is. Yeah, I did that. If watching the Hubie and Abraham plays of November from 2016-17 season, I base it off an NES video game because it was fun.
I can't believe that I was right about that.
So
I can't believe I was
you were
right.
there my last 2 seasons then.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
I became a season ticket holder for the 16-17 season.
I was there.
Started going to games regularly in the 15-16 season.
That's the year I took over as the interim video manager.
Huh.
And then didn't get the actual video manager. I don't want to talk about that. It's kind of sour grapes. I'd gotten over it, and then other things came to light, and now I'm mad again.
You know, everything about this episode is sad.
And not everything. New Jersey.
This is true.
Hello. Started with positivity.
We did.
That's how I like to work things.
And
Start
then
happy and then end up crying and depressed.
Go severely downhill because our owner is
Yeah,
angry
you were talking about firing Rocky Wirtz. You can't fire an owner, unfortunately.
I know, but what
You
if
can force them to sell and be like, hey, you're not cool. You need to sell this team right now. Sell to the city of Chicago. They're doing things properly. Kind of.
to
Bits and
Mayor
pieces.
Lightfoot?
I mean, that wouldn't be to her, but I mean, it would be to the city. Remember when the Ice Hogs were owned by the Rockford, by the city of Rockford? Now they're owned by the shitty Blackhawks. They're owned by Rocky Wirtz, kind of, in a way. Hooray! More negativity, positivity.
Don't remind me that I just renewed my season tickets to, pay Rocky Wirtz.
Why did you do that? You're not even at the games.
I know, I just have hope that next season will be better. Like, by then, things will sort themselves out and people won't be coughing all over my section without masks on.
If you're gonna cough, at least wear a mask.
He had one because when he got up to walk around the concourse, he put a fucking mask on.
You take it off if you're gonna eat. You have to get food. I know. Yeah.
He was, sticking his fingers in all of his facial orifices. So this is why I haven't been to an Ice Hogs game since the day I got my booster shot.
I remember seeing you on game 1. I came up and said hi.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was what? You went to 3 other games after that and then haven't been back?
It was November. It was the week before Thanksgiving. It was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
This is way more than that.
Because I got my shot before I went to New York for the week of Thanksgiving. And I got it that Wednesday. And then I haven't been back since that day because of that guy. Every time they show people on the Jumbotron,
They don't have a mask on.
no masks. Even though they're required at the BMO.
To get in. There's the fine print.
Yeah, because they don't care.
It's not like they can enforce it, though.
Hire people! You're owned by the Blackhawks! You have money!
Well, they're about to lose a lot of money. The PR nightmare that's going to unfold from this night.
I'm kind of morbidly excited to see the fallout. I want to see sponsors cut them off.
We thought it was pretty empty after the beach stuff came out. I hope it's very empty
At the United
game.
Center? Oh my God.
I hope it's COVID levels of empty.
Me too.
There will always be people that'll go because
There's people that don't care, and then there's people who just don't know because they're not tuned in to this
they're not
kind of stuff.
hardcore. They're just casual fans that just, I like, hockey's the thing to do. Those are the same people that show up halfway through the first period. I almost said quarter. And then leave before the third period. It's you're there a period and a half,
I don't
barely.
understand how these people function. I wish I could be a casual fan. I don't know how to be a casual fan.
I'm a casual fan of baseball. I just don't care until the playoffs. That's how things should be.
I just don't care unless I'm at a game, and then I'm like, oh, I guess this is cool. I'll drink beer and eat a hot dog, but this is going on way too long.
Hot dogs sound amazing right now.
I know, right?
I haven't eaten anything since I had a bag of chips, so that's not true.
I had cold waffle fries because I ordered
Chick-fil-A?
food. No.
Oh.
No, Old Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah, I ordered a turkey sub with waffle fries and jalapeno pretzel bites as an appetizer. And I was eating my pretzels when Rocky yelled at Mark Lazarus. And so I promptly stopped eating because
It's none of your business.
He really said that. It is
That's the one part. Like, if there's any one part that pisses me off, it's that. Like, it is their business. That is their job to ask that question, to make sure that more players don't have to fucking be sexually assaulted
by your franchise.
By the people that you hired.
And have their day with the cup. Because you didn't do an investigation, because you let him just resign without doing an investigation.
Like, they should have done it immediately. But even back then, I can understand them kind of waiting a little bit, but, like, do it immediately.
Yeah, like...
As soon as the season ends, like, all right, now we can talk about it. Should have done it immediately. Like, I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it. Not saying they should have done it, but at least if they had done it, then it's the fault. The backlash from this wouldn't have been as severe.
At least,
like kind of fucked up. They should have done it during the season, but at least they looked into it, and they just didn't look into it.
Right, that's what got me. Like, yeah, they let him go, kind of. They let him.
But they also gave him a letter of recommendation. It's like, no.
And Q spoke well about him afterward, like.
And then it happened to somebody else, even younger than Kyle Beach.
And he was jailed for it. He was convicted, and he's a sex offender in the state of Michigan.
And the fact that this didn't come out until way after that is like, what the fuck?
Like, how did we not know about this?
Because John McDonough's very good at his job.
There you go.
To a fault. I don't remember if we were on the podcast talking about that or not.
We were.
Don't remember if that was the cold open or if we were just shooting the shit before. It's been a long night. What time is it?
12:51.
Yeah, it's almost 1. We've been talking for almost an hour. I've been here for
about something.
About a bunch of things. Did we even get to our point? I don't remember. We've talked about stuff. We said we were going to get angry in the tweet. It was all the anger. Like, here it is.
I'm so angry that I'm not angry.
That's how it was when the Packers lost. Like, I was so angry and depressed that I just wasn't. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's a level of angry when it's sparked. We're like, oh my God, burn it all down.
Like how Lucky Wirtz was when this Kyle Beach's name came up. And then there's a point past yelling, past anger, where you're so mad, you don't know how to feel. You don't know how to react. Should I yell? Should I just internalize it? Should I just sit here and stew? Am I even mad? Yeah, I'm mad, but I don't know how to get it out.
He should have gotten to that point a lot earlier and then just not said anything.
He should have had something at least pre-rehearsed. Like, you know it's happening.
They're going to ask
You've been asked about it for 18 months now. You got to know it's going to come. It's going to keep coming. Guess what? It's only going to come more now because you just...
Does this just go to show how many softball questions they've been asked throughout the past decade that they're just suddenly asked about the hard shit and they're like, oh my God, fuck you.
We're done talking about it. We can't be done talking about it. We should never be done talking about it.
Like, I'm glad you can move past it, but guess who can't? Guess who can't? The guy who was sexually assaulted by your employee and you
not only Kyle
let
Beach,
it go.
But also the kid that was sexually assaulted by the same
John
guy.
Doe 2, Black Ace 1.
Yep.
The intern.
The one that will not even come forward.
Yeah.
Because they're too distraught.
Yeah. You
have to talk about it. What do we learn? You must learn about history, otherwise you're doomed to repeat it. You have to talk about it. That's why we still talk about the Holocaust. That's why we still talk about all the world wars. Because, like, if you don't fucking listen, you're gonna keep doing the same shit.
Like people who think the Holocaust wasn't real, or compare vaccines to the Holocaust.
Or say it wasn't about race. Hello, Whoopi Goldberg. That's in the news.
Oh my God, that was the thing that just happened, wasn't it? I didn't read the whole thing. I just saw the headline.
She was on The View and was like, Holocaust wasn't about race. It was about white people fighting other white people. It's like, I mean, kinda, yeah, but also no. It was Adolf Hitler being like, Jews are a bad race. I don't like them. Let's kill them all. Which, no, that's about race.
That's literally what that is. That's what.
Not that I'm comparing this to the Holocaust, because I'm not.
Right.
But,
that's a whole different topic.
yes. But I'm saying, like, history. We
you have to learn.
We
from
teach
history.
about the Holocaust. We teach about world wars. We teach about all this shit about slavery, segregation. Segregation's still happening. All that shit because we're still. History repeats itself regardless.
Like
we gotta learn
electing
from
Trump
bad
as
things.
president.
It's gonna happen.
And now
again.
I will not survive another 4 years. I won't.
We're barely surviving now, and it's been a year removed.
It's so much more quiet. It's great. And that has nothing to do with the person in office. It's just quiet. And I like quiet.
Yeah. That's a discussion for a different time.
Yeah. Anyway,
you have to talk about it. You have to learn from it. You have to keep moving on. Like, do you want people to stop asking about it? Yeah, probably.
of course, it's
Because
uncomfortable
it's
to
uncomfortable
talk about.
I understand that, but you have to be prepared for it because it happened. It's
And-
still happening.
And now it's going to get worse because you
gonna
showed your whole ass.
Your whole ass. Your
Whole-
whole asshole.
Yes. And it's a big one. It's a big asshole.
Yes, a big whole asshole.
Yes, exactly. I think part of why I can't get super overly angry is I still can't believe that happened. Like, I can't believe that I was sitting there at my desk watching this and that actually happened.
I didn't believe it until I actually saw the videos. And then I saw the one about Mark, and then I saw the other one.
About Phil,
Yeah, with Phil, I'm like,
who asked the follow-up question, Phil Thompson.
they can't even get at least Mark was able to finish for the most part.
He was like, Rocky, can I finish my question?
I tweeted, this is during my break, so I tweeted the first one. I tweeted the first video about Mark, and I was like, that's not a good answer. You shouldn't say things like that. And then I saw the other one, the follow-up, and I'm like, and it get worse. And it got even worse.
Every time, I think that they can't make it worse.
They make it worse.
Every time.
Like, not to say we were moved past it because we weren't, but we were finally at the point of, like, we don't have to talk about it every day.
Right.
We can still think about it. We can still bring it up once in a while, but we're enjoying watching Blackhawk hockey. We're watching it for the players now.
Yeah, they got rid of Stan. They got rid of McIsaac. Joel Quenneville isn't coaching anymore. Mark Bergevin still has a job. Kevin Shelby still has a job. But people aren't in the Blackhawks organization anymore.
Yeah.
So we can root for the players that are new, that weren't around when this happened, not
Which is all
Mr.
but two.
Bad attitude captain that we had.
You can't get mad at Fleury. He wasn't there. You can't get mad at Doc. You can't get mad at DeBrincat.
DeBrincat was like 12.
The fact that he had better answers than the guys that were there still pisses me off. Like, he shouldn't have to say anything. Like, I was 12.
A kid.
I was I guess it's like, because I don't know. I doubt he grew up a Blackhawks fan, but it's like,
He was a Red Wings
watching
fan.
this. Yeah.
He's from Michigan.
Yeah. But he's still like, I was watching this team and I admired how good they were, but fuck, that sucks. You should not do that.
Right. It's not on them to answer
And
for
Taves and
it.
Kane are like, State Moment was good to us.
At least Kane walked it back
Yeah.
quicker than the quote unquote captain did. I just can't get over his pissy attitude throughout this whole thing. When Mark interviewed him over the summer, when he came out saying, oh, I probably have long COVID and blah, 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 blah. And then he said, like, he was annoyed that it came out that everybody knew about it in the locker room. And then they have their post-game presser after Kyle's interview, and just the look of annoyance and this pissy attitude on his face. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Even in Kane's post, like, he didn't look annoyed. He was like, yeah,
No.
it sucks. Like, I mean, I'm thankful that he drafted me, but it's like, you can still be thankful that he drafted you because, like, that changed your life. You became a 3-time champion. But
And that's kind of like the old school hockey answer, right? Like, oh, this guy did a lot for me. And then I like to believe that he went back after that and was like, fuck, what did I just say?
yeah, saw it and was like, it wasn't great. And also, he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he
So, like, the very next presser, he was like, I want to apologize for that. But it took Taves, like, a whole fucking week to come back out after that.
Yeah, I mean, Kane was like, he still did good things for me, but that shouldn't change everyone's opinion. Like, it's not good. And he said, I feel terrible for Beach. I feel terrible for everyone else involved that had happened to. And sucks that it happened under Stan's watch.
Right. And it's hard for me to blame the players. I've said this a few times now because we don't know how many other victims there were and who they were. You don't know.
Yeah.
So it's hard to blame the players, but
and like, especially at the time, like I've said it before, like Taves and Kane, you don't even know like how. I don't even know if they know how bad it was until the full story came out.
Yeah.
Like until the investigation happened, until Kyle Beach had his interview. Like they probably didn't really know. Like they said people were making fun of him. And it's like, well,
it's like, fuck those guys.
Maybe they didn't really think it was what it was. And some people did.
Some people obviously knew.
But like the other people were like, I don't think it was that bad. And then
and like I was saying this with Beth too, like if there were other victims that we don't know about, like that's sometimes how people deal with trauma. Like if I make fun of this other guy because it's known that it happened to him, people aren't going to think it happened to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is bad.
It's fucked up.
But at the same time, like you understand, but at the same time, it's still like it's
Exactly.
so confusing.
That's why it's hard to blame them. Like you want to think it didn't happen to anybody else. So like, fuck these guys for making fun of him and fuck their shitty attitude. You just don't know.
I don't want this to happen to anybody else, but imagine yourself in that situation. You don't know what you would fully do.
Exactly.
You would like to think like, yeah, I would go tell somebody, but you don't know.
Exactly. People are frozen in fear sometimes, and it is that power dynamic. Like he wasn't a full-time NHLer. He never became a full-time NHLer. And this
partly because of that though.
Yeah, this fucking asshole is like, I can control whether you get ice time. So what are you going to say?
Yeah.
That you spent your whole life working towards this, wanting to be in the NHL, wanting to be a hockey player. If this guy does this horrible shit to you and sexually assaults you and then is like, I can control whether you're an NHLer or not, so you better not fucking say anything. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
He has that power over you, which is what Mark fucking asked about tonight.
It's like, how do we make sure that doesn't happen again? How do we learn from what happened to make sure it doesn't happen again?
Right. What systems have you put in place?
We're not talking about the past anymore. That's old history. It's none of your business. Yeah.
It is.
Because I feel for these players. I have compassion for people.
I don't want any more hockey players or anybody really, but of course.
Especially hockey, because that's what we're in.
It's what they're talking about,
The business that we're in.
Don't want anybody else to be sexually assaulted on the job, you know?
Yeah.
And especially kids. Like, he was a fucking teenager. Because it wasn't that long after he was drafted, right?
It was 2010.
Yeah.
He was drafted, what, 2008? 7, 8? So maybe he was not quite a teenager.
Maybe he was 20, 21.
You're still not old enough to...
Right.
Nobody's old enough for that, but...
He was drafted 11th overall in 2008. So 20?
Yeah.
Maybe 19, 20?
He could have been drafted at 17.
Yeah.
You don't know. He was a first-round pick.
Yeah. 11th overall.
Clearly, he showed enough flashes to be drafted in the first round.
Mm-hmm. He had comparisons to some of the elite players in the game, and it's totally ruined his life.
Mm-hmm. I remember after all this happened, he left for, I don't think it was a full season, but he was not playing for the Ice Hawks for a little bit, and then his first game back, comes back, scores a hat trick, and then they're like, cool, let's trade you because your value's back up. And I don't know what happened after that. He probably still had things happen mentally, but...
And people making fun of him on the ice from his former teammates. And that was at the same time that Akeem Aliu was being thrown racist comments at him from Bill Peters, who was the Ice Hogs head coach, and Ted Dent was the fucking assistant coach at the time. Like...
I'm at your point of like I'm angry, but
yeah,
can't really say anything. We've said everything that we can say. at this point.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say. Like,
we've felt rage for
months now.
Yeah, since May when this all broke. Yeah. Even before that, because Liu's story came out when Babcock was fired, because that's when that whole thing came out.
Years ago.
Yeah. Like 2019, I want to say.
Yeah,
and there's still no resolution there.
Nope.
Even though Gary Bettman is like, oh, our investigation was done.
Is there a good commissioner in sports in the Big Four? Goodell's an idiot. Bettman's an asshole.
Jesus.
Rob Manfred doesn't even like baseball, and he's the commissioner of baseball. Bill Peters, I guess. Not Bill Peters.
Basketball dude?
Yeah, basketball dude.
I don't know what his name is.
I did, and then you said Bill Peters. And now I'm confused.
Yeah, I feel like people don't talk shit about the NBA, really.
No, they don't. He knows what he's doing for the most part.
What? People know how to do their job right?
Crazy.
That's a concept.
Yeah. I won't say more. I have more to say, but I could get in trouble, so I won't say nothing.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, like, how are people supposed to move forward and be fans
when you won't let them?
Yeah.
Just, at least have a bullshit answer. Like we said this earlier too. Like at least
have something. We can't
have
talk about this publicly.
Planned, even if you say it over and over and just repeat it every time. Like Marshawn Lynch's, I'm just here so I won't get fined. Is that an answer anybody wants? But it's an answer.
Right.
It's better than, no, don't ask me that question.
And
ever.
Yelling at them. Like.
Berating them.
Yeah.
Talk shit about their place of work, too.
Yeah.
No.
You're not a part of this franchise. What?
Well, I've been covering the team for, I don't know, since the shit happened in 2010.
Right.
I don't really know if that's how long Mark has been doing things, but still.
I don't think he was around in 2010, but shortly thereafter.
He's been covering for a long I've been following him on Twitter for a long time.
Yeah.
Because he follows the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And that's his fucking job.
So it is his business.
Yeah. If somebody in the organization asks us a question, then we'll answer it. You're not going to release it. Like.
Who's going to fucking ask about it? Who?
Your son? He wants to talk about it. He wouldn't ask about it.
He tried.
You don't shut up your son when you appoint him to this stuff.
Well, you're fucking losing your mind.
Yeah, Danny was nice and calm and collected. Was like, well, yeah. I'd like to say something. No!
Yeah!
I'll handle this! Sorry for rest in peace headphone users. I'm sorry.
It's okay. The mixer quiets it. But, like, this is why I still can't believe this happened. What am I watching right now?
Just let Danny talk. Oh, and I read Mark Lazarus's article. Apparently, Danny came up to him and was like, "Sorry about that. I have a lot of things to say. I can't say them right now because obviously
crazy fucking father's still here.
My senile old man is senile and old and a man. I will gather my opinions better than I probably would have said them today, and I will get back to, maybe not you specifically, but I will get back to you in general."
Mm-hmm. And he said the same thing to Phil, too.
Yeah, he said, "I will give my thoughts soon."
Yeah.
So, good on you, Danny. You're probably still a corporate guy, but you're less corporate than your old man. And you know what? As of right now, you seem to be wanting to do the right thing, so I'm happy for you as of right this second. I hope I don't regret saying that in another few days or weeks.
The thing that scares me is we thought the same thing about Rocky compared to his father.
Yeah.
Like, do you just incrementally get better? Like, okay, so we're going to put the games on the TV and spend to the cap so we can be competitive. That was Rocky's place. And then Danny takes over like, okay, we actually care about people.
Yeah. I hope it's just not a flip-flop. We care about people, but we don't care about winning, so we're going to suck, but at least we're caring about people, which, to be honest, I'd rather have that.
I would rather have that.
I'd rather have that. I'd rather have a team that, yeah, they suck, but hey, they're good people. So, like the Cubs, like they sucked forever, but most of them were good people.
I'm just realizing now, looking over at my shelf here, there's a book on the far left behind the bench, and the two faces that I see on that spine are, well, I guess they're on the front too. Mike Babcock, and Joel Quenneville.
You gonna burn that book?
Fuck my life. Fuck my life. Everything in this fucking room. It's like hockey threw up here.
Shout out to Mark Lazarus, though.
If these walls could talk, stories from the Chicago Blackhawks ice locker room and press box. Fuck my life. Fuck my life. And then there's Steve Dangle. This team is ruining my life.
That's maybe there'll be a sequel by Courtney Dagger. This team is ruining my life
But
as
I
well.
hate them.
But I hate them. But I despise them. This team made me happy for 3 years, but I hate them.
6 years.
6 years, but I hate them.
Well, yeah, except for 2014.
Oh, Mr. Letty.
Off of his shoulder. Past my goalie. I should tweet at Steve, be like, hey, if I wrote a book.
Oh, this team is ruining my life, but
But
I
I
used to
hate-
love them at one point or another.
Would that
you
be
not?
okay?
Will you not sue me? Especially if I put you like, can you write the forward for me as
Right?
well?
Can I
Be
credit
like,
you? I've been watching your videos since like 2013.
We-
Since I
I
went
bought
to
your book and I bought the audiobook as well because I wanted to hear you say things and yell in my face, in my ears.
Yeah.
Can you let us borrow your name as a spin-off book series?
I went to the Leafs when I followed Dave Bolland there after 17 seconds, and all I've gotten was pain. So,
Blackhawks only have one less cup in the 6-year span than Dave Bolland had assists with the Leafs. That number was 4. If they win it this year, they catch them. I love that line. But now it makes me sad because, the Blackhawks are shitty people.
but not all of them. Like, I just have to hold out hope that some of these players weren't shitty people.
I feel like Hossa wouldn't have been a shitty person. He could barely speak English at the
I
time.
feel like he didn't know what was going on.
I think he's one of those like I'm just here to
I'm
talk
just
hockey.
here. I want to feel the same way about Hammer.
Yeah,
We're not going to talk about any of the other players that I just don't want to know.
especially 13. I know what I'm talking about.
Don't want to know.
Yeah, I feel like Hossa's probably one of those that just didn't know. But again, we don't know. But I'm trying to hold out
I
hope.
feel like it would be American players over anybody else because Americans are shitty.
As one myself, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just. This team is ruining my life, but not in the same way that
but now
poor
we hate them.
Steve has suffered.
I'd rather be a Leafs fan right now. Like, yeah, they're not going to get out of the first
I
round
am a
forever.
Leafs fan, and it sucks
I mean, yeah.
because they have all the success in the regular season, and then they lose in 7 games to the Montreal Canadiens.
They're the Packers, led by Aaron Rodgers. Very good in the regular season, but they can't do it in the playoffs. Except for 2010. At least they've won a
There's
couple
no
games.
Aaron Rodgers on this team.
Not on the Leafs, no.
No.
I don't know. They got Matthews.
Is he Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know.
I hope
Does
he's not
he
that wild.
is he not as good of a playoff performer as his regular season performer? 'Cause I
Mitch
feel like
Marner.
he isn't. That is very true. I was in Nashville when the Leafs got beat by the Canadiens, and I was sad.
I was at my girlfriend's house and I just kind of collapsed on the floor like they really did this again.
Yeah. Who are they going to lose to this year? Let us know in the comment section below if there is a comment section below.
There will be on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's see. What place are
That's
they
why I looked at the
in?
camera when I said that, because the audio listeners, I don't think Spotify has a comment section.
I don't think they do either.
So
you
go
could
to the
leave,
YouTube channel,
You could leave it in a review on Apple Podcasts.
rate us 5 stars,
Hell yeah. Okay, they're third.
and then go find
in the
ZBJ
Atlantic.
Podcast and rate us at least 4. I don't care.
Yeah, do that.
Just check us out. It's mostly me and Zach that talk. The B part doesn't come very often.
Oh, Brandon. He's
Yeah.
just at Ice Hogs games controlling the hammy hog head.
He just kind of exists there.
So if they're third in the Atlantic, who would they be facing?
They would be facing
First? No.
Is that how?
Because that would be one of the wild card teams.
Are you under the wild card standings, or are you just under the division standings?
The wild cards are Washington and Boston.
They would play one of the wild cards, but they'd be playing Tampa Bay.
Tampa?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
Because the number 1 teams play the wild card teams.
And 2 and 3 play each other.
Yeah.
So the Rangers in Pittsburgh, that's like an old school. And when I say old school, I mean like 2010s. Yeah. Like Henrik Lundqvist and Marc-Andre Fleury, old school.
Didn't they play each other 2014 or 13? I think it was 14.
They played each other.
Maybe it was 2015. All I remember is that game went to overtime, and it delayed me being able to watch the Blackhawks win or lose.
I know Boston swept the Pens in 13 to get to the Cup final.
Boston's a wild card spot. Gross. Come on, Red Wings. What are you doing? Gross. That's weird, too. I don't want to say that
The Red
either.
Wings are...
I'd rather see the Red Wings on there than Boston. Fuck Brad Marchand.
Me too, but they're 9 points higher.
It just hit halfway point of the season, didn't it? Like, we're just now at halfway. I know in the AHL we are.
Let's see.
Because the Wolves posted something like, halfway there. Wow, we're halfway there. Wow.
They don't need to
Lemon on a pear.
The Blackhawks.
Who would the Blackhawks be playing? Nobody, because they suck. At least we're ahead of Seattle
and Arizona. They've played 46 games, so they're just over the halfway point.
You know what?
5 games.
Arizona has my least favorite uniforms in the NHL, so it's fitting that they're last.
Because you're wrong.
That's what I've been told. Kachina.
The Blackhawks.
When are we going to have that episode? Like, we've been wanting to do that for over a year now.
When people stop fucking up and making us mad.
This table's going to fall.
I know, they always do this.
I don't know how to lock it.
Pull it out toward you. Yeah.
Aha!
I don't know how just sitting here makes it do that.
Because we're banging on the table.
Do the Blackhawks have the third worst goal differential in the league? Oh, dear. They do.
We don't know how to score. There was that weird stretch where we did, but then we couldn't keep the puck out of the net, which was, what, beginning of the year?
Yeah.
When Fleury was there, and he was like, I don't really want to play right now.
Montreal is a minus 73. Arizona is minus 70. The Blackhawks are minus 44.
Remember the Canadiens in the Stanley Cup final last year, and now they're, like, terrible?
Well, they're missing Carey Price and Shea Weber.
Remember when they were good last year? No, they're not.
Remember when they shouldn't have won a fucking playoff game and then they beat the Leafs in 7 games?
Yeah, they beat the Leafs in 7 games, and then they beat... Who else did they beat?
Winnipeg in 4.
Winnipeg in 4, and then they beat the Vegas Golden Knights.
6.
It should have been Vegas and Tampa last year. That would have actually been a good series.
Vegas still would have lost. I
thought I started hating Vegas, but now I think I should have hated Colorado.
Oh, I hate Colorado. I've hated Colorado ever since I went to a fucking game. I don't remember what year it was. Maybe 2014, maybe 13. I don't know. I was in college. I went to a game. It was standing room only. It was like $40. I was like, cool, it's standing room only tickets because the team was fucking good. They got shut out 4-0 against fucking Semyon Varlamov, and I had to stand and my feet hurt, and there were empty seats up there like the last row, so I tried to sit, and the ushers were like, you can't sit there, you have standing room only tickets, so fuck Colorado. I've hated them ever since that fucking game.
Personalized version. I hate them because they ended the Blackhawks regulation winning streak.
That's why most people hate them, but I hate them because of that 4-0 game where I had to stand and my feet fucking hurt, even though I didn't have to stand because there were empty fucking seats. They just wouldn't let me sit there.
And also, Varlamov just had our number back then.
And he's also a wife beater, but you know.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's that.
There's a lot of shitty people in sports, and it's unfortunate.
At least they kicked one guy out of the league with, what's his name? Voinov. Slava Voinov. Remember that? Wasn't
he a king at one point?
He sure was.
Yeah. He was on the 14 championship team, wasn't he?
Sure was.
Yep, I remember losing to him.
Alec fucking Martinez?
I don't hate Martinez. He's just in the right place.
I do, because he took the shot. Never forget.
Yeah.
I see it in my head so perfectly.
He also had the game-winning goal against the Rangers.
Sure did in Game 5.
Somebody asked me recently, like, do you think the Blackhawks would have won the Cup had they beat the Kings? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the Stanley Cup final. Like,
Yeah.
the Rangers were just there.
Everybody says it was a good series. I only remember the Jesus overtime goal and the Alec Martinez overtime goal.
I remember being down with 5 minutes to go in Game 6, and then Kane scored, and then I think Keith scored to take the lead. Might have been vice versa. And then they won. I remember not scoring a goal, scoring. I remember not scoring a goal until like Game 3 when Fontaine did it, and then they went up. Then they went down like 3-1 after that. It's very late. Although I usually fall asleep at 3, so like it's not that late. It's been 20 minutes since I last looked at the clock. It feels like it was like 5 seconds ago. Time flies when you're
angry
as fuck.
I keep coming back to that 2014 series, just trying to evade the badness that happened today because that's another.
That 2014 game is less painful than the shit that's going on right now, and that's saying something because that was very painful at the time.
Yeah, I was about to argue it, and then I remembered what was going on. I was like, no, you're right.
Yeah. I would rather live through like 3 of those overtime goals than hang out and going through the shit we're going through right now, because at least that was just a game, and this is real life with the real people. Me too, rationally. But just thinking about that happening in my head, I'm like, oh my God. I think I've been lessened by the blow because Blackhawks won it in 2015. Had they never won again, I would hate that because, like I said earlier, with the Packers being that close to the Super Bowl, and they beat the Patriots earlier that year, so they probably could have beat them again, and we haven't been back since. Every season, that fucking game gets 10 times worse. At least the Blackhawks won it the year after. Yeah, it sucks they didn't win 3 in a row, but as we know, that fucking dynasty is tainted anyway now. So maybe it's better we didn't win. Maybe it's better we didn't win 4 out of 6 years.
But Slava Voinov won.
And Martinez. And Jonathan Quick, who's fucking overrated as shit. Fuck him.
Corey Crawford's
going to beat his ass, man. I wish they would have fought. Crawford would have beat the fucking piss out of him.
Oh, it would have been so great.
I love Corey Crawford. Hat fell off. We thought we were going to die just now.
Scared the hell out of me. What the fuck? Okay, Duncan Keith. Really?
He heard the slander.
Jesus Christ. It's all 3 Duncan Keith hats that just tried to attack me.
It's because the thing fell off.
How the fuck? My arm's not long enough. There we go. That was terrifying. Those have only been up there for months.
There's going to be a lot of comments on the thing of like, wow, John just sat there. He didn't try to protect you at all.
I was attacked by Duncan Keith?
Yeah.
Keith relief hats. These used to be my favorite hats. They're really nice. See, the DK with the Canadian flag and the DK with the Chicago flag. And then this one with the Canada and the Chicago flag. And now he can't keep his fucking foot out of his mouth since he went to Edmonton.
Hey, it sounds like Aaron Rodgers. Can't keep his foot out of his mouth.
Hey, they're both anti-vaxxers, so how about that?
I just want to enjoy sports, and I can't enjoy my sports.
What the fuck did he say recently? Oh, he wasn't mad about Evander Kane going to the team.
He has to say that.
He don't have to say shit. No. After saying those things about vaccines and all that, I give him 0 benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I feel like he said other shit too since he went to Edmonton, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, he didn't participate in the investigation. And then said they called him, but he didn't talk or something. It came out that they called him, but he never talked to them. So there was that. You know who we haven't heard from? Brent Seabrook.
Yeah. Or Hossa. Or Sharp.
Yeah, but like Siebes is still in the league. He's a Lightning. And we were supposed to have his legacy night. He hasn't been
in the league for... That is true, but we also didn't have Hossas. And They delayed hostess and was like...
That was because the report came out before
like,
that, right?
We shouldn't do that. And then they had rescheduled it, and then they were like, we still shouldn't do it.
But they had Shaw's.
Yeah, that
Who
was
then,
bad timing.
His cousin was the Jacksonville Iceman player, and then he defended him. So how come we can have his, but we can't have Hoses or Seabrooks?
Can't have Seabrooks because he plays for a different team.
Well, then how did they schedule one? And why doesn't Crawford have one?
Because he sucks, obviously.
He probably hates the fucking team and is like, leave me the fuck alone.
He didn't even really say anything when he got traded. And he was just like...
Well, he didn't get traded. He just wasn't re-signed. And then he signed with the Devils.
He didn't say anything about it. He was just like, yeah. And he just retired.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I don't want to play
He
anymore.
gave everything he had to the game, and he didn't want to.
I wouldn't want to play for the Devils back then either. I know it was only 2 years ago, but still.
They were a fun team last year. It was only last year.
Was it? Mm-hmm. 2020.
Because he was in the bubble.
Yeah.
Good Vegas. His last win was on your birthday, John.
It was. Yeah, you're right. That's sad. It feels like it was 4 years ago because 2020 feels like it was 3 years by itself.
It feels like my goalie's been gone forever.
It feels like both it's been a long time and also it hasn't been a long time.
I know, right? Isn't it
like
weird?
You think of 2019, it's like, that was so long ago. It's like...
It's only 2022.
And you think about the things that happened, it's like, oh yeah, the quarantine was not that long ago. But it's like, it was, but it wasn't. Things are confusing. I don't know how to feel anymore.
Yeah. Basically.
I'm angry, but I still love hockey. Like,
that's the worst part.
Football's over now. I don't care about a Super Bowl.
I think there's a game this weekend.
It's a Pro Bowl. Nobody cares. Super Bowl's in a week and a half. Is the All-Star game this weekend?
Yeah.
Usually is the same weekend as the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Usually the Royal Rumble is too. I was there last weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was planning on like, yeah, we'll wake up early on Sunday and then get home quickly so I can watch the NFC Championship game, watch the Packers lose. And then they're like, nope, they lost before that.
So you didn't have to wake up early. They were doing you a favor.
That's why I spent the day in St. Louis. The only reason why I have this disgusting ass hat and this not as disgusting hat is because I got to spend the whole day in there on Sunday with no football to care about, even though I was rooting for the Bengals and
they won.
And the shitty Rams that I didn't want to root for, but I didn't want to root for the Niners who beat the Packers. Plus, Stafford's a good dude, and I like Stafford, and he's a good boy.
Did you go up into the arch?
I did. I was there.
Isn't it terrifying? That little pod they send you up in?
The little tiny pod where you have to like step up but also bend down. Like, I'm small. I'm big in a small space.
That pod was terrifying. Like, there's the air vents. I had to have my hand on it. I was like, I need to feel air because I feel like I am closed in and I'm going to die in this.
They ask you, like, do you have a fear of small spaces or stairs? They really wanted to know if you couldn't climb stairs. And I was like, I have limited issues, but that's because I'm fat, not because I just can't climb stairs.
Are their pods not working very well? Because I don't think they asked us about the stairs, and that was a couple years ago.
Because there was like you have to climb 30 stairs when you're done. It's like, so?
That's not bad.
I just gone to the City Museum, which is like all stairs. It's 4 stories.
Oh, I still haven't been there.
And then also 6 stories to get to the top of the 10-story slide.
Oh my gosh.
Did that one.
Did you?
Almost puked at the end because it's a spiral slide.
Ooh.
It's like...
Oh, so you have to climb up all of these stairs and then...
And then...
Oh, no.
I got done. I'm like, that was...
Yikes.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, all I remember...
Actually, that's where I got this pin from.
Oh, nice. I love touristy things.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
If you have a small child in your life, like a niece or a nephew or a son or daughter, if you're watching, take them to the City Museum because they would enjoy it more than you would.
Oh, I don't. Would I just enjoy it?
You'd probably enjoy it. The slide's fun. They have fun, like, little neat things. I'm sorry, I just put saliva everywhere. Neat things. I don't remember it because it was Sunday, and we were doing a lot of things Sunday.
Yeah.
We woke up, ate breakfast at the hotel, checked out, went straight to the City Museum in Chicago, or St. Louis. St. Louis. And then went from there to a mall where I bought this ugly thing. I also bought an actual disgusting Cardinals hat. I bought it. It was like a purple and pink Cardinals hat, and I was like, Cardinals fans are going to hate this. I have to buy it. And then I asked my Cardinals buddy, and he was a fan buddy, and he was like, no, dude, I think it's for you, and I like it. I'm like, fuck! I was the loser in that one.
I hate when that happens.
I almost bought a Blues Reverse Retro because couldn't find them online, but then I didn't because I didn't have $200.
Oosh.
Yeah, and then we went and ate at Emo's Pizza.
Emos?
Which is IMO''S. Yeah. To eat St. Louis style pizza, which is
What's St. Louis style?
very thin crust, cut into rectangles, not squares or slices, like pie slices. And the cheese is not stringy; it's gooey, which sounds weird, but was delicious.
That sounds like a mixture of Chicago, New York, and Detroit style pizza. All in one.
Well, Detroit's pretty, like, Chicago's deep dish, so...
Well, they also have the tavern style.
Sure.
Which
And
is,
Detroit's
like-
also kind of, like, thick crust.
Yeah, Detroit's thick, but it's like square.
If you know Little Caesar's deep dish, that's Detroit style pizza.
Which is why they have Little Caesars Arena in Detroit.
I would say it's more New York style, but that's very, like...
New York style is gross.
It's just, like, foldable and weird, whereas the one in St. Louis is, like... It's almost... The crust is almost crackery.
Okay.
Like, in...
I like a cracker crust.
And, like, feeling.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to bend.
Yeah.
It was good, though. I liked it. We got mozzarella sticks, and we all ate like one.
I love mozzarella
And then
sticks.
we were supposed to take them home, and then they just left them in my car that I drove, so I just ate them for dinner that night.
Oh.
And they had garlic cheese bread, and it was very good, too. And then we went from there to the Arch and spent a good, like, 2.5 hours there.
Fucking pod. Ugh.
Bob was weird, and it was weird getting up to the top and being, like, on an angle.
Yeah, isn't it strange?
Taking pictures, thinking that you're straight on because you're straight with the window, and then looking at it later, it's like, nope, that's crooked.
Yep.
And then we came down, and then we were like, cool. We walked out of the little, like, museum part up the street to get to our car, watched the Bengals win in overtime. Like, we walked to the corner where our car was, hit the button to cross. It was like, oh, look, it's the final play of the overtime. They scored. They won. I was like, cool. Kitty goes meow. Then we went to the car, started driving away to go to a different mall, and I saw the sunset behind us, and it was so fucking pretty. I was like, we need to stop, turn around, take a picture of this. This is amazing. And then I couldn't find a good spot to take a picture.
No.
So
That sucks.
I was like, well, that's fine. Found out that the other mall we were going to closed at 6, and it was 5:50. We're like, we gotta go.
Oh, no.
And we got there as the place closed because there was a jersey my buddy wanted to get that he couldn't get because it was closed.
Yikes.
All because I wanted to stop and take a picture of the fucking sunset, and I feel bad.
But sunset pictures are so worth it.
It was like the pinky orange
Perfect.
sunset with the arch there
Yeah.
and the dome in the background and a couple of the skyscrapers. And it was going to be amazing.
That's awesome. You should have just stopped in the middle of the road. Be like, picture time, bitch.
It was the highway, so no.
So, pull over on the shoulder.
So yeah, and then we're like, well, I guess we'll just go home. Go home, start making our way home. I have air pressure gauges on my tires.
Mm-hmm.
One just decided not to work on the drive home.
God.
So I had to pull over and check that. It was fine. And then, yeah.
The
It was a
decision
restful day.
to head home is always such a bittersweet one.
Like, we were like, we'll probably get out of here by like 4:35. It was 6-ish. Got home at like 10, though. 10:15.
It's not bad.
No, I made good time.
Damn, that is really good time.
It's about 4.5 hour drive. That was about right.
I guess
It said we were gonna get home at 10:30, and then like I beat that. I didn't break the law,
that's good.
but yeah, made it home good time. That got to a weird. Like we went from. It's because we didn't want to be depressed anymore, so it was like good times, happy good times.
Evading.
Went to the Royal Rumble the night before, and it was terrible. So that happened. One of the signs caught on fire twice. If you're a wrestling fan, which I don't suspect many are, but the Royal Rumble is probably my favorite event of the year, and they always have the WrestleMania sign that they point to. It's like, yeah, we're gonna go there, which is this is the wrestling Super Bowl. We're like, yeah, we're gonna go to that place, and then they have pyro go off. Well, they had two of the same matches where they point at the sign and the pyro goes off, and the first time, the sign caught on fire. And we didn't realize it until like midway through the next match where the entire crowd of people that were underneath the sign sitting there were like, they're not there anymore. What happened? They're just standing around. What happened? They're lowering the sign. Oh, there's somebody with a fire extinguisher. That can't be good.
Oh, no.
They open it up. Rip off the back paper that was on their curtain or cloth, whatever. Check inside. No, it looks good. They put it back up. As soon as it's in place, they put everybody back in their seats. And then the end of the other match where they point at the signs like, yeah, I'm going to WrestleMania. They started moving people out again. We're like, no, they're not really. Are they? Dude wins, which was Brock Lesnar, which you probably have heard that name before. Ronda Rousey won the other one. You probably heard that name before too. So in the WWE Royal Rumble, the UFC people won. And yeah, he won, and then he points at the sign, and it goes off again, and then it goes on fire again. We're like, that was dumb. Why'd you do that?
Jeez.
That was actually the best part, because we could make fun of them.
Yeah.
We were like, wow, the sign catching on fire is a pretty good representation of how bad this company is going. So yeah, that was my weekend. Anything to get off the subject of depressing Blackhawks.
A drive home of 4.5 hours sounds so short compared to 13.
From New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, how are those drives?
In Winter Storm Izzy, it was great.
I bet it was worse driving home solo than it was driving...
Well, her mom was with me on that drive back.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So that was nice. Once we got to Indiana, we were behind the semi, and it was late because we left... at like 11-ish New York time, so it's 10 here, but by the time you get to Indiana, no, AM.
Okay, good.
Yeah, by the time you get to Indiana, it's fairly late.
Yeah. 1 in the afternoon.
I wouldn't put it past me, really. I've done stupider shit, but we got behind the semi, and I don't know what was wrong with this guy. If he was falling asleep, if he was drunk, I don't know, but he would... both. Or both. He would like start moving over into the left lane, like not meaning to, you could tell. And then he would overcorrect, and he would turn on his right signal when he was like correcting himself to get back into the right lane. It's like, all right, you're aware enough to turn on that signal. But then he would like swerve into the shoulder because he was overcorrecting, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then he would do it again, and then back over into the shoulder, and he almost hit the guardrail so many fucking times. We stayed behind him the whole way through Indiana. He exited in Gary. So like from the beginning of Indiana all the way to Gary, right before you get to Chicago, we followed the whole way. We called Indiana State Police like, hey, this is not good because somebody could easily die, whether it's him driving off the road or him hitting somebody. Nobody showed up.
Of course not.
Yeah. So we had to follow him because we were very curious, but I also didn't want to pass him because I didn't want to get over there because it was only 2 lanes at that point. It's like, no.
I don't want to risk my life. That's fine.
Yeah, it was very interesting, though. It made Indiana go very fast.
Indiana's not a fun state to drive through.
It's not, so that made it entertaining.
You know what state also isn't? Illinois going south.
That's for fucking sure. It goes forever.
Like, I drove to Florida. Me and my dad drove to Florida early last year. Well, like, it's like second quarter of last year.
Once you finally get to Paducah, Kentucky, you're like, oh my God, I'm out of Illinois. I'm halfway
there.
there.
On the way to Florida, I was just excited to be just going anywhere. So everything was cool to me. It's like, fuck.
Oh, yeah, it was during 2020, right? Or 2021?
It was, yeah.
So it was still like
there's
people not doing anything, really.
Yeah. But like, it was just like cool. I've never driven past Dubuque, Iowa.
Yeah.
Which has been, doubled now, obviously. Not counting the Florida trip, but going to St. Louis was doubled. And yeah, I was just excited to I know I'm going to see new things today. We're driving all the way to Nashville, so I'm excited. That's going to be fucking cool. Drive through Paducah. Things are fine. Almost get lost in Paducah because we were trying to get gas. And
there's a rest stop right there.
Yeah, we needed. Well, it was like a little past Paducah, I think. It was like, we need gas.
It's like right when you get to Paducah.
We'll wait.
Right there.
Yeah, we'll wait to get gas. And then,
you always got to stop.
Until we couldn't wait anymore. I was like, well, there's this one place that says gas, but I've never heard of it before.
If you drive south through Illinois and you're going further than Illinois, if you get to Paducah, stop there because there's 2 travel stops on either side of the road. That was a rookie mistake.
Yeah, the gas station was like a mile into whatever city we were in. And yeah, we found it, but my dad was not happy, although the chicken strips were very good. That was the only thing I had to eat that day. And then we, got just powered through to Nashville and had a good little night on town. Saw the Leafs lose to the Montreal Canadiens, which was sad, but the food was good. And then, the next day we drove and went through Tennessee, and I think we went to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Ooh. Went to their zoo. My niece was there with us, and she was cute.
Oh,
and
that's
she
exciting.
loved seeing all the zoo stuff.
Yeah.
And then we drove through past Atlanta and went to Georgia and stayed
through all
there.
the mountains.
Yeah, that was not fun. My ears were not happy with me.
Thank you! Mine do the same thing! Oh my god.
Did your ears do that up in the arch when you were going up too?
Yes!
Because mine did the same thing.
Oh my god. It's like going east to New York. It starts in Ohio. I'm like, oh my god, my ears. Ugh. And I'm the only one in the car. And I'm like, my ears. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, my ears.
Yeah, there was one point where like I just couldn't hear anything. I'm like, that's not good. I just started swallowing saliva, and I was like, I made myself yawn to open it up, and finally, like, we get to the top of the highest mountain on the road. I'm like, oh, thank God. And Chattanooga's actually in the mountains.
Yep.
So thankfully it worked and happened where I was good, because otherwise that would have been a very bad zoo trip.
Oh, that would have been miserable.
But then we leave the mountains and does the same thing.
Yeah. And constantly the whole time going through there, I'm just opening my mouth there we go. Stupid ears.
Yep. And then we drive through. We get to pretty close to the Florida border before we stop and rest for the night in some place in Georgia. And then went out of our way to go to Jacksonville. And then went to
Hey, that's where my sister lives.
We went to St. Augustine, hung out there for most of the day. Got to our destination. But so I was excited to get to places where we wanted to go.
Yeah.
And then on the way back, it's like, well, we don't have any plans. We're just kind of driving home.
The way back is the worst.
God knows where we're going to stop. We wound up getting back to Chattanooga. And we're like, should we just stop here? We could power through. Nah, let's stop. We stopped. Went to probably the worst Outback Steakhouse I've ever been to.
No.
Bought one of their prime rib sandwiches and it had au jus on it, and the dude spilled a lot in my drink.
Oh no.
And then instead of bringing me a new one, was like, it adds to the flavor, and then puts it down, and then didn't never bring me another drink because I didn't drink it. Yeah, safe to say he did not get a good tip. Granted, I think he was kind of new, but still, you don't drop au jus in my Dr. Pepper and then not give me a new one.
Right. Oh dear.
And then we went home and went to the hotel, and I can't sleep in hotels. So,
really?
Yeah. Woke up. I didn't sleep for shit Saturday night either. So and it was actually a very good, very nice hotel. And then woke up and then powered home and driving home through Illinois when you're tired and not excited about going home because you're going home and have to work in a couple days. It's not fun. It is just, you can see as far as humanly possible because nothing but plains.
Yep. And for people who don't know where Rockford is, because we both live in Rockford, it's on the state line of Illinois and Wisconsin. So you have to drive through the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
I drove straight through from Tampa Bay to Rockford.
That's about the same distance as Daytona.
Miserable.
A little further west.
All in one go.
Yeah, we could have done it all in one go. It's 18 hours.
It's rough.
But my dad was like, I'm tired. I want to stop. We're going somewhere. I probably shouldn't say this. I don't know if he's ever going to watch, but he and I got into an argument before that. It's so bad that he got out of the car.
Oh, no.
And was going to go to Walmart. And I'm like, this isn't solving anything.
Yeah.
Picked him up, let's go to any hotel you want. We'll stop.
Oh, no.
And then went to Outback and had au jus pepper to drink. It was great. It was a great.
Did you want to keep going and he wanted to stop?
No, we both kind of wanted to stop. We're debating on the hotel. I don't want to get into specifics, but I had a set list of hotels. He was like, I just want to stop. Let me go anywhere. I'm like, but we can get rewards if we go. He's like, I don't care. Stop. I'm like,
I would have been
Okay.
so pissed off because I research hotels so diligently before I stay in one. I
Yeah.
read like all of the reviews. I'm like, all right, this is the clean one. We're staying here. It has good parking.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Yeah, like I had a list of like hotels that we could stay at to get the rewards, and then I had his phone that had all the reviews and stuff. And I was just hold that for a second. He's like, I don't want it here. Throws my phone on the floor. It gets out. And I'm like, fine, let's go wherever.
Oh, I would have been so
And I'm
mad.
staying at a Holiday Inn, so it was fun because it was nice. It was a nice hotel.
I love hotels,
I do too. I'm excited to be at hotels.
but you just can't sleep in them.
Yeah, I can't sleep in a bed. I don't think I sleep on the couch at my house.
Yeah.
So, because my bed is just like an extra giant shelf.
Yeah,
Because I have a lot of stuff, a lot of these things.
a lot of jerseys.
Get a new NHL All-Star jersey.
Nice.
That I was gonna put the Brinket on. I don't know if I want to do that. No, I don't know if I want to put Blackhawks.
Yeah, I mean, at least he said the right things.
Yeah, and as you and Beth were saying, Beth, right?
Yeah,
Okay, it's been a long day. I apologize,
it
Beth.
has.
He kind of got shafted when he was told that he was
Right.
an All-Star game. Apparently, I didn't hear that story.
Welcome to the Derek King experience.
But it's like, yeah, DeBrinket's probably my favorite player on the team right now. I know yours is Hagel.
yeah,
I like Doc too, but he hasn't done a lot since the bubble.
yeah.
So
He was rushed. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's really
a
sad.
lot of players are.
They also should have drafted Bowen Byram, but you know, it's totally fine. I mean, he's out with concussions, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah, I had to do like Black because it was what a top 6 pick. He was top 3, wasn't
Third.
he?
Yep.
Yeah, third overall.
Byram went fourth.
So I had
And there was
to.
Turkett.
I had to make graphics for my job, and I was like, I wasn't gonna put Doc. It was like 2 other people, and I was like, I'll make it just to be safe.
Alex Turcotte and Bowen Byram.
Yeah, thank God I made him because I was like, good. That was the Lafreniere draft, wasn't it? Everyone knew he was going first.
No.
Who went first that year then?
Was it Dahlin? Rasmus Dahlin?
That was way before, wasn't it?
Let's see. Kirby Doc. That was the day that we started this podcast, was when Curbs was drafted. Let's see here.
Huh.
29.
I thought this was.
Oh. No.
Thought this was going a lot longer than that.
Lafreniere was 2020 because he was in the bubble. He was the first because he was at home when he got drafted.
Oh. Okay.
I think it was Dahlin.
And Doc was the year before that,
Rasmus
right?
Dahlin.
Doc didn't play until the bubble, though.
2018.
Aha!
Jack Hughes?
Maybe.
Jack
Jack Hughes.
Hughes.
Jack Hughes!
2019. Jack
There
Hughes.
it was.
There
He
it
was
is.
the consensus overall pick. That first overall. That's what it was. One of them was like, yeah, you know it's not going to be him. So,
went
is it a Turcotte or
second then?
Doc or Byram? And then I was like, I wasn't going to do Doc. And then I was like, I should do Doc just to be safe. Never heard of him.
Oh, Capo Caco was number 2. So the Rangers were up there.
Yeah, that's right. They got him, and then they got, like, yeah, let's continue to suck. And then you get
Let's get
Lafreniere. And now
Lafreniere.
he's also not doing great.
But then, whoops, we're good now. We're second in the division.
It's because they got Panarin. They got Breadman. Poor
Yeah.
Breadman.
I got his rookie card the other day.
You have a
Happy.
lot of cards.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I really do. It's kind of a problem.
I'm enjoying your card of the day, though. That's
I'm
a fun
addicted
series
to them.
that you haven't been consistent with.
Hey, there's only been a couple days I haven't posted them. I posted some today. Because I got goalie cards, rookie cards.
Did you ever find someone to help you out with the C and cross?
I got the C.
You got it?
I got the C. It was on EPAC.
Yeah.
It's on its way to me.
Hopefully I helped with that because I shared that.
Yes.
If not, then whatever. At least you got it. That's the important thing.
I can't wait till it is home and I can just put them all out and it will finally spell out his name and then I can...
He's not raw anymore.
He's not Rockford.
He's pretty raw in 2010. Yeah, so.
He...
He's a gem.
Yes. He is.
It's been a long podcast.
It has. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. It's not the longest from such
No, I remember because you and Jackie were messaging like, what the hell was that podcast? We talked for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it was about nothing too.
Probably.
I think it was when you were testing out these bad boys.
Oh,
Wasn't
yeah.
it that?
I don't think that was
Because
the
it was like 3
longest.
hours.
I think there's been one that was sort of about hockey that was about that long, too.
Okay. I remember when you got these, you were testing them, and
Yeah.
you went a lot longer.
We're
than
just
you
going to
expected.
test these out. And then we just kept talking.
Did a 3-hour podcast.
That's how these usually go. Because I don't know how to end them, so I just keep talking.
Yep. I mean, that's how this happened.
Exactly.
That's why I started talking about St. Louis and then Florida and then
And
New York.
talking about traveling, it makes me happy, unlike the stupid team that we root for.
Yeah, you still owe me a travel, by the way.
I know.
Is that travel? Where the fuck did I don't remember where I went. Was it Gurney? I think it was Gurney.
Was it Iowa?
No.
It was Gurney?
I went to Gurney Mills Mall, and then I was like, I didn't eat there, so I'm going to eat somewhere. And then I just went to Fridays because we don't have one in Rockford anymore.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like, hey, I just went to Gurney because I like traveling. We should hang out sometime. And that was over a year ago. I think it was before I went to Florida. Maybe not. No, it was like a couple weeks after I got back.
Was it?
I was like, I don't want to travel for a while. And then I got the itch, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go to Gurney.
It's addicting. Sometimes, so my dad lives that way, but I can take Riverside to get home. Sometimes I just hop on 90 to come from Riverside down to here just to get the fast driving itch out. And I'm like, I want to go further. But then I'm like, now I have to drive to New York, and that's 13 hours.
I'm sure it was fun the first time, and then you've done it 2 other times since then. You're like, I don't care about it.
It's not so bad.
At least you get to be in New York.
New York is so overrated. It's crazy.
I want to go out west.
I want to go west too. I want to take Route 66. That seems like it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's very small now because they've
Really?
You ever see cars where it's no cars go on Route 66 anymore? It's because it's chopped up.
Really?
Yeah, most of it you have to get on the the main highway and get off again and then get back on. I'm pretty sure.
I believe it.
I've never driven it. Obviously.
Me either.
The furthest west I've been, I think, was probably either Dubuque or St. Louis at this point.
Whichever one's further. I
Yeah,
drove
it's just past Mississippi. I haven't gone any farther than
I drove to Denver, but you just take.
Yeah.
I think you just take 80. You take 80 all the way to New York City. You just get on 80 and you keep going. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a very easy drive. Once you get to Ohio, it's extremely boring because Ohio just keeps fucking going. That state is eternal. It is so long. It feels longer than Illinois does because Illinois is at least familiar. You're like, yeah, I live here. It sucks, blah, blah, blah. You get to Ohio, you're like, I swear I'm almost to Pennsylvania. You're in the middle of fucking Ohio. Oh my God. Pennsylvania seems smaller because you have to deal with the mountains, and so it's kind of stressful at times when there's a bunch of people around.
It keeps
I
attacking.
don't know what it is with these hats. But Ohio is terrible. But yeah, I want to take...
Indiana's also terrible, so... You have to go through Indiana, and then you have to go through Ohio.
It's horrible. It's Indiana. Then you have to go through Ohio. Pennsylvania is okay if you do it during the day. Going through the mountains at night is absolutely terrifying because it's a lawless fucking place at night.
Yeah, my dad wanted to make sure we got through the mountains before that, but then we had to go through Atlanta towards the night time, and that wasn't...
Yeah.
This
is why I leave at 4 a.m. to go to New York, because I stop in Pennsylvania, but 2 hours outside of the city. So if I can get there early enough, I don't spend too much time.
Sidetrack. Question for you.
So,
when you went to St. Louis,
Yep.
was it just as dead as it was for us? Because it was like a ghost town on Sunday.
Mm-mm.
I know, I have to say I went through COVID time. It's
Yeah.
2022. It's still happening, despite what Republicans think.
Yeah.
Welcome
to Missouri.
Yeah. There was just nobody there.
Really?
There were cars, but there weren't people.
Interesting.
It's there's a lot of closed places and businesses. It's why are there cars here? There's no business here. And there just weren't people. There's the occasional stroll by, but it's a big city. You would think there'd be people.
I don't recall it being like that.
It was dead. There was people by the arch.
Yeah.
Because of course there was. But when we were driving by the arch to try and find a place to park, nobody there. But then we get to the arch and get closer, and there's there's actually quite a lot of people here. But we didn't see a single person on the way there.
Huh.
Saturday night when the wrestling event, there was a lot of people,
Yeah.
obviously, because they were going to the wrestling event.
Right.
The Dome is downtown, which I didn't think that was the case either. Took us an hour and a half to get our food at Hooters afterwards.
Holy
because there was
shit.
that many people. Yeah, food was good though, so it was fine.
They do have good wings.
They were out
there.
of Dr. Pepper.
That's weird.
Yeah, so I had to get a Mountain Dew. And then I tried to get waffle fries, and they were out of waffle fries. And I'm like,
What is it with waffle fries?
I love waffle fries.
Me too.
They're amazing.
And I had to eat cold ones tonight because of this fucking tea.
I'd rather eat cold ones than none at all.
This is true. Yeah, I don't recall St. Louis being like that.
Yeah, it was ghost town. I was like, this is how it feels in the apocalypse.
That's
We're here.
so
We're back.
weird.
2020. It was weird. I wore my Jonny Rockford mask and all that shit. And
Hell
just,
yeah.
I apologize that you had to buy the pain hoodie.
Yeah,
At least it'll come in handy.
that's true. It should be here tomorrow now that it's Thursday. It's supposed to get here Friday. But yeah,
It might come early.
driving to New York is rough. But then you have to go through New Jersey. And that's just a headache in itself because you can't pump your own fucking gas.
Really?
Yes!
What was this, the 1950s?
They do it for you and you don't have the option. You pull up to the pump and they're just at your window. You're like, oh my God, there's a person there.
It's the
they're-
1950s, Colin.
It drives me mad, so I don't fill up. So the place that I stay in Pennsylvania is close enough to the city where if I get gas there, I can drive to the city, do whatever I need to there, and then come back. And by the time I'm back in Pennsylvania, then I can get gas again. It's perfect. I don't have to fill up in Jersey. Fuck New Jersey. I'm a grown-ass adult. I've been filling my gas tank for 10 fucking years. I can pump my own gas. Just let me do it. I don't want to have to pay you to pump my gas.
People were mad when they got rid of the helpers at the gas stations back, 90 years ago?
Right?
Not 90 years ago. I meant like 70 or 60
I am a
or
grown-ass woman. I don't need somebody to pump my fucking gas. Some people love it. And people say, oh, in the winter when it's super cold, you don't have to get out and do it. No, don't touch my car. I will pump my own fucking gas. Go away. Go away. I hate New Jersey. I hate it.
something. Just because of that.
Mostly, yeah.
It's a very weird reason, but you
It's
know what?
also gross and it smells like fast food through the whole place. And people don't know how to fucking drive
Better
there.
than smell like sewage like St. Louis.
True. That's all I remember. I got off a plane in Newark and I was like, why does it smell like fast food everywhere?
Because there's just McDonald's in every corner. Just like there is here. in
Welcome
Rockford.
to Rockford, Illinois. It doesn't smell like fast food everywhere here. It smells like bacon bits.
On my way going to...
Why does
Bacon
it smell
bits.
like bacon bits here?
I remember probably because the dump is so close.
Why does the dump smell like bacon bits?
I don't know.
Or why did bacon bits
I don't,
smell like
I don't like
garbage?
the smell of bacon bits.
It's so specific.
On my way to college at Rock Valley, that you would pass by either three...
Is there a hat coming to
I
attack
think,
me again?
no, I think a cat might have walked by.
I got
but-
scared.
Like, it's not a long drive. It's like a 10, 15-minute drive. You pass by 3 McDonald's on the way there. Because you go down Riverside, at least from my house, you go down Riverside, there's one next to Main Street. And then you go by the one that's on North 2nd Street. And then you go by the one that's by the Walmart.
Uh-huh.
And then you got the Wendy's there. And it's like, I don't need that many McDonald's.
They think you do.
Like, there's a Walgreens in every corner, too. There's also a church in every corner. I don't know if you noticed that. There's so many churches in Rockford.
So many
I
churches.
didn't when I was a kid, I didn't think there were that many. Then I started
There
driving
are
around, I'm like,
an insane number of churches here.
it's too many.
Too many. When I was trying to compile a list of like local businesses and shit, I was just like scrolling around on Google Maps. It was church. I was like, what the? There aren't enough people
Place of
for all of
worship.
these churches.
Church.
Yeah. It's like church, McDonald's, church, McDonald's, church,
Walgreens.
McDonald's, Walgreens, CVS that keeps getting shot at for whatever reason.
Yeah, they keep robbing the place.
Why are there always gunshots at that intersection? State and
Rockford.
Alpine. Why?
There's a lot of wrecks there, too, because State and Alpine's the worst intersection in the city.
I mean, it's pretty bad, but also State and Perryville is really bad.
No,
too.
Auburn and Maine was bad, and then they put the roundabout in there for some reason.
And now people just like drive through it.
Yeah,
There's
just
like,
drive.
there's no roundabout
Some people
here.
have driven down the wrong way on it. My dad saw somebody that was driving the wrong way and just wouldn't leave because you couldn't.
How? It's so easy. They tell you how to do it. If you are turning right, stay in the right lane. If you are going straight, stay in the right lane or in the left lane. You can go both ways if you're going straight. If you are turning left, stay in the left lane. It is easy. Why can't people comprehend this? I don't understand.
People can't comprehend a lot of things that I'm questioning.
This is true.
Yeah.
We should probably end this. I could just keep
Yeah,
talking forever.
I could too. I love talking to you.
I know,
but I
same.
have to get home still.
That's true. It's 2
I also
a.m.
haven't
now.
eaten dinner yet.
Oh, no.
So McDonald's should maybe.
There you go. There's one on every corner.
Yep. It's the only place that's open past midnight anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Wendy's isn't open late anymore. Wasn't that like their thing?
Yeah. Midnight or late. It was always midnight, but it's past midnight.
Or wasn't it 2 a.m. or later? Was that Taco Bell?
That's Taco Bell. That's 3 a.m.
There's one of those by the mall.
I had that last night, so I'm good.
Well, Taco Bell's good. Anyway.
It makes you poop.
So does McDonald's.
Not as much as T-Bell.
Oh, well.
I'm still feeling the effects of the one from last night, so.
McDonald's it is then.
Yeah, I had that a couple nights ago too, but you know, it's fine.
Whatevs. On that note, this has been From Center Ice. I think we talked about hockey.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately.
It was the worst part of the conversation, as far as I'm concerned.
And then talked in circles about other things, so we didn't have to talk about the hockey. But thank you for tuning in. Where can people find you on the internet?
Pretty much every social media at Jonny Rockford, no H. Instagram, Twitter. You can listen to my podcast, the ZB&J podcast, anywhere you get your podcasts. I usually use Spotify for mine, and that's the one that I know it's on. So at least Spotify.
I use Apple Podcasts.
I think it's also on Apple. I think it's also on Amazon Podcasts. Audible
Likely.
Podcasts. So yeah, it's ZB&J space podcast.
Is it on YouTube?
Not yet, because we don't have a camera, and I don't want to just put audio on like a screenshot.
You
could. I've done that before, and then I was like, no, it's not going to get the engagements.
Well, if you are watching this on YouTube, go to one of the other podcasting apps. If you are listening on a podcasting app, just search it then.
Yeah.
Do that. And if the Blackhawks are not your team and you've listened this long, I hope you got some sort of enjoyment out of this. If they are, good luck.
We feel your pain.
Yes. And I will catch you all in the next episode. Bye, guys.